The materials for this activity are the same as in part 1, paper, ruler, pencil, and eraser. So you're going to start by drawing a horizon line across the middle of the page and 2 vanishing points on either side of the paper. And we're going to start by drawing a building on the horizon line. So we're going to follow the same procedure that we used for drawing a box on the horizon line, because simplified, a building is basically a box. So we started with the corner as the first vertical line, and then we're going to draw the top and bottom edges, directing them to either vanishing point 1 or vanishing point 2. Now we'll draw the outer edges of the boxes by drawing some additional vertical lines. So now we have a box, but to make it look more like a building, we're going to add some details like windows and doors, etc. So I'm just making this up in my mind as I go, but if you want to, you can find a reference image or go outside and actually observe the building. So remember, whenever I'm drawing details on the building, they need to also direct towards the vanishing points. Everything that I draw must always either be a line going to the vanishing points or a vertical line. Another way to think of it is if you're drawing windows and doors and details, all of those things need to be at the same angle as the top and bottom edges of your building. Now I'll draw a taller building behind the first one. So I'm doing the same process, it's just a little bit different because the first building is positioned in front of this one. So I didn't draw the bottom edge of that because it's behind the first building. And now I'll complete it by drawing the outside edges as vertical lines. Now I'll erase the horizon line, and for the windows on this building I'm going to do the same process, pointing my ruler towards vanishing point 1, and I'm drawing the horizontal lines for the windows on the tops and bottoms first so that I don't have to move my ruler around as much, and then I'll draw the vertical edges. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to do like little crosses inside the windows, and I'm going to follow the same process, pointing my ruler towards the vanishing point for the horizontal lines. Alright, now let's do a really tall building behind the one I just drew. So this one's going to be tall and skinny. Just like I said, making the city up as I go along. So I'm going to make this one a tall skyscraper type thing with a lot of windows. So drawing my corner in the middle, my top edge going down towards the vanishing point. I don't need to draw the bottom edges, and then my vertical lines. Now I'm drawing a whole bunch of vertical lines using my ruler, and these are going to represent my windows, and then some lines down towards the vanishing points. Alright, now over here I'm going to draw a shorter and longer building, I'm trying to vary the height and shape of the buildings so it looks more realistic. So this one I'm going to draw a little tunnel detail inside. So there's my box. It's shorter and skinny. Now I'm doing a little detail for the roof, just like a little molding detail sticking out. So I'm using my ruler to do that. And I'm going to also do some windows that stretch all the way across this side of the building. So I'll start with the horizontal lines and then down toward vanishing point 2. And then just drawing some vertical lines to finish off those windows. So now I'm going to draw the little tunnel going through this building. I want it to look like you could walk through this. So I'm going to draw the door shape. I'm going to erase the bottom line of the building so looks like you could walk through. And then I'm going to connect that corner towards vanishing point 2. So similar to when I was drawing the back edge of the boxes, now it sort of looks like I can walk through it. I don't need to draw any lines going from that corner to the other side. There we go. So now I'm going to draw a sidewalk in front of these buildings. So I'll draw a line from vanishing point 2. And then I'll draw a line meeting that line coming from vanishing point number 1. And then I'll draw the other edge of the sidewalk coming from vanishing point number 1. And then I'm going to do the detailed paving stones. I just had to fix that line. There we go. Details of the paving stones. So I'm lining up to vanishing point 1 and drawing the line on the vanishing point 2 side. And same over here. So going to vanishing point 2, drawing these paving stones. And then moving my ruler up slightly every time, making them slightly close together as well, because as things go closer to the vanishing points, they get smaller. So I've decided to fill in this outside section with sort of like a pedestrian walkway. And I'm kind of making that perspective grid that I showed in the first part 1 video. So this would be sort of like where people could walk. And if you like, you could draw trees or people or any other details that you like. And now I'm drawing a pedestrian crosswalk type detail. I'm still using the vanishing points. And now I'm just deciding to fill in the skyline a little bit with some other buildings. So this building I'm going to draw is going to be a tall, skinny building with a triangle pointy thing on top. So in this building, it's one of the only times that we aren't following the rules of perspective. So the triangle part at the top does not follow the rule. So I'm not pointing towards the vanishing point here. I'm just going in a triangle shape, because remember, these rules work best for box shaped things. If something is round or if something is a triangle, it's not going to work as well. What I do in these cases where it's a shape that won't conform to the rules is I just draw the lines in and then check them to see if they look okay. And I can also, if it's a shape that I can turn into a rectangle or a box, then I sometimes will draw that rectangle or box as a guideline for myself. And then draw the object inside that rectangle or box and then erase it afterwards. Then once you're done drawing everything that you want to draw, you can decide to use a fine liner to outline parts of it, or you can color or shade. Make sure that you choose a light source so that your shading looks realistic. And that's it. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much for watching.